Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is going on? It's time for another Age Mythology Retold update video. They have been spoiling us recently with these patch updates. Hello, heroes. Welcome to another exciting update for Age Mythology Retold. This patch introduces new launch loading screens, new cheat codes, voiceovers for Greek localization, more stability and gameplay bug fixes, along with another round of impactful balance changes and more modding updates. Oh my god. More balance changes! I've had enough. No, I'm actually kind of excited. Game launch loading screens. You're going to see all of the different things here when you go in. That's exciting. Look at how sick this is. Oh, that looks awesome. This is obviously the tail this is what's it called? Well, okay, this is China. This is Japan. Where are the Aztecs? Aztecs don't get to be included. All right, new cheat codes. Requires the Obsidian Mirror DLC. They keep on adding more. I'm thirsty. Drains all the water from the map. I love that. The areas where water exists still behave as if the water is there for unit navigation, except the units will now slide around on the mud of the ocean floor instead of on the water surface. That's funny. You can certainly try. Spawns a stronger Fafnir nearby your town center with a 50-50 chance. That's funny. Theft of the Hammer, a mountain giant wielding mule. Oh, I know that one. That one was sick. Okay, strongest potion. Role players. For all currently select player owned units, they individually roll a 50-50 chance to either heal to 100% HP or take over 9,000 damage. These are my Bear Witness. 5 nature controlled bear units randomly near your town center. Okay. Uncarian Gambit. 3 Harpies, Trees of Speaking, 3 Hamadryads, City Unbuilder. Replaces all currently owned god powers with natural disaster god powers. Grants the Great Flood, Volcano, Earthquake, and Tornado god powers. Okay, Curse of Ra. Alternate Winter. These devs are having some fun. All right, let's keep going on. All right, new Greek language audio, spoken Greek language audio is now available. Players who want to use Greek as their preferred language for the campaigns can now experience playing through in their preferred language. That's kind of wild. Lobby UI updates. Lobby settings have gradually grown since the initial Age Mythology Retold launch, and they were starting to become a little overcrowded. The patch brings a new lobby setting. To add world twists to single player and multiplayer to make room for this setting and any future settings. Okay, so they get an extra tab. Is that right? Where, or is it just another tab? I'm a little confused. I think this is just another thing. Oh, I see. Down the bottom. You click on the bottom. So if you want to get to that next tab, you click over here. All right. So these are all the world's twist things. I'm not going to go through them, but if you guys want to go and read it, there will be in a link below. The game stuff down the bottom, getting all those stability and bug fixes is always nice. Localization, graphics, audio, etc. Hotkeys, getting some extra stuff. I'm very much custom scenario. Okay, we should now be viewed in the post game timeline. Oh, there you go. It's kind of cool. I think I can learn about this stuff as I play. I feel like I'll just see it. Maybe there's some kind of cool stuff here, but I'm very much interested in the balance changes. That's what I want to see. I want to see the balance change. Actually, this is a lot of stuff here. Maybe I should read this. There's too much. There's too much stuff here. I'm sure there's going to be something that's like super important, but I am going to scroll down to all Pantheon changes. Heroes. Greek heroes, priests, pharaohs, goatees, pioneers, bushi, and warrior priests now have homing ballistics against flying units. This wasn't me. I promise I didn't do this. I didn't do this. It's not my fault. Please don't blame me. This change aims to alleviate the frustration players have expressed when a flying unit could avoid all damage by moving around. Notably, the Caladria, but most flying myth units have been compensated with survivability buffs. Let me explain exactly why this has been a source of frustration. I get ballistics. My opponent does not dodge the arrow, it doesn't hit the unit. Very, very frustrating. In fact, certain units are inbuilt with ballistics. For example, I believe the priest is inbuilt with ballistics, but unit moves and it dodges. So there's something wrong in the ballistics system for hitting flying myth units. On top of that, there was a certain streamer who may or may not have broken the way the game works by showing a little certain thing called wiggle micro that made the Phoenix invincible and all other flying myth units invincible. That might be unrelated. I don't know. Survival equipment adjust as follows: 100 wood, 100 gold. Villager damage reduced from 25% to 10%. Okay, I think this is a fine change. I think it was. I don't necessarily agree that it was cost prohibitive at 150 wood, 150 gold, but making it cheaper so players can grab it to keep their villagers a little bit more strong, while also taking the village damage down, means that players that do want to grab this and do want to play that defensive game can't just use their villagers to shank, whereas you otherwise probably would have early on. I would often grab this as well as like Skin of the Rhino or something, and I'd basically be able to have a villager army. Anyways, champion warships now also increases the line of sight of siege ships by the same amount of their range increase. Okay, fine. Demeter's throne cost reduction is now percent instead of base percent to prevent some buildings from ending up completely free when combined with other discounts. I'm looking at you, Loki Oxcart. All right. Onwards and upwards, major gods, Hades no longer gets ballistics and burning pits for free in their respective ages. New bonus, all ranged soldiers upgrades cost minus 33%. Oof. That is a big nerf to Hades, and it could be technically considered a buff to Hades in the same breath, but in having to research ballistics and having to research burning pitch, that's kind of the economy that they're getting back from that range soldiers thing. So basically, I'll give you my experience. Hades player gets ballistics, drops sentinels down, gets watchtowers. Now we're playing player versus enemy, or PvE rather than PvP for the next 10 minutes in the game. And personally, I think that's not how we should play an RTS game. Don't think it's good for the game to have this to be in here. I'm not trying to justify this from the dev point of view. I'm saying I'm a fan of this change. I don't know if this is why they did it, but I did read a lot of complaints about this on the Balance Discord, and I think they were justified. All right, onwards and upwards. Demeter, Wither, movement speed reduction of enemy units from minus 25% to minus 35%. Herdable fattening speed increase from 25% to 40%. Herdables can fatten plus 20% more. And the divine labor cost has come down. It's actually changed to gold as well as favor. I actually like that. I think it being gold makes a little bit more sense. All up here, an obvious buff to Demeter. I think she was struggling from a statistical point of view, but I think she's a hard god to play. And this is one of those ones where it's like, you've got a god like Demeter or you've got a god like Hades. Hades takes no skill to play. Sorry, Hades players, I love you, but if you just have to click sentinels and buy watchtowers and you don't have to engage with me for the rest of the game or for the next 10 minutes, then it takes no skill to play. Okay. Demeter, you have to have really good base building. You have to have good scouting. You have to react to what your opponent's doing. You have to have a good understanding of how to use your classical age god power. You have to have a good understanding how to use your heroic age god power. You have to find value out of Wither. There's so much stuff going into this god. You have to understand Underworld Invasion as well, or you make the simple choice of going for Lightning Storm. But it's so much stuff going on inside of Demeter that, yes, it also makes sense. Let's keep going. We got the Arcadian Meadow has been buffed, but nerfed, but buffed. No, it's just been nerfed. This has gotten bigger, but it's lasting less. I don't think this is a problem. Generally, you don't really want it for the full 2 minutes or just a little bit less than 2 minutes anyways. Hestia's Hearth base convert time has been reduced from, okay, but little bit of a sideways movement. What does the dev say? These changes aim to slightly worsen the conversion speed of higher hit point targets such as myth units or melee siege, while maintaining a similar or even speeding up the speed of lesser hit point myth unit human soldiers. Okay, basically people will control. I don't necessarily agree with this. By the way, this one I'm not sure I'm a fan of actually. People were complaining they couldn't take out a Hestia's Hearth with siege, to which I say, you don't need siege. Just send your units in and kill it. It doesn't have that much HP. So I I I don't agree with this change. Sue me. Faded Arrows has had its damage reduction per bounce reduced from 63.4% to 80%. So now instead of it being a roughly for plus 50% boost, it's now plus 24% boost. That there is a big nerf. What do I think about this? I thought that it was too much. Like initially, when I saw it, I thought that it was too much power packed in one upgrade. Normally, those upgrades are spread out amongst a bunch of different upgrades. But after playing with it, I started to go, no, it's kind of fine. But I do kind of wish that this power was spread out a bit better. I don't know if there's any other things that are making up for this power being taken out though. Like I'm not sure I'm not sure I'm getting this at the moment. I'm not getting this nerf at the moment. Okay, Underworld Invasion adjusted as follows: number of units spawned in the base Potassis 30 to 25, and yeah, this thing was okay. This thing was overpowered. I think it's still going to be really really strong. Like this is yeah obviously going to be really really strong. I don't like yeah no I'm still going Persephone. I'm still going to go Underworld Invasion. I think it's very very good still even with that nerf, but I'm not sure if I'm walking away from this. I mean the herdable's getting fat. Like maybe the early game's easier and that's good for Demeter. Maybe. Okay, let's keep going. Hephaestus having some buffs to Hand of Talos and Shoulder of Talos. You know, my opinion on most myth units is normally they're quite good. Colossus is one of those ones that I thought was quite good. I don't mind a cost reduction on any of the unique technologies, mythic technologies. If it looks like they're too expensive, chances are they are. But extra stats for a unit that I think is performing quite well is interesting. That being said, people are still going to just go for Plenty Vaults instead of building Colossus and then cry that they're not winning because they didn't build any Colossus. All right, Forge of Olympus cost increase from 250 gold, 25 favor to 300 gold, 30 favor. Yeah, and then again, if you look at a technology and you think it's too cheap, it probably is too cheap, and then you can very happily make that more expensive. Trying to take power away from the Forge of Olympus timing, this is fine. I think this is still in the realm of pretty cheap for what it gives you, so no problems. All right, Manticore is getting a 1 damage increase. Little bit of love help there for the Manticore. I thought the Manticore was doing quite fine. An extra pierce per projectile is like plus 4 pierce or something. And this is plus way more than 4 pierce. I can't remember how many projectiles they shoot with the special, but yeah, the Manticore should be a unit that you try and use. I think it's going to be really strong. Siren has had some buffs as well. I'm still waiting to see if this is going to be any good. If this unit is good, then I almost go, well, the power went from that technology into the Siren, and I'm happy because I want a myth unit, a mythic age myth unit with Persephone. At the moment, I don't have one because Siren is terrible. So you heard it here first. Boit says a myth unit is terrible. Yeah, the Siren I'm not a fan of. So that one there, if it's good now, I doubt it. But if it's good now, then fantastic. All right, Harpy, hit points increase from 240 to 380 HP. Fine, I'm still not building this unit. This unit doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned. Orpheus, ranged attack is now exclusive versus flying units. Added a hand attack as a default attack with the following stats. 6 hack, 1.2 attack interval, 12x bonus damage multiplier versus smith units. Hit points have gone up. Movement speed has gone up. Hack armors. This is literally now going to be somewhat of a copy of like the Jason archetype, right? That archaic hero that's punching or attacking. It's going to give you a lot more early game defensive oomph, I think. But I'm not going to lie, I liked Orpheus the way he was. The only thing I didn't like was that he wasn't doing enough damage to those bloody kitsune. Okay, onwards and upwards. Icarus, Demeter adjusted as follow. Ranged attack towards flying touch to my speed. Okay, movement speed has come down. Really? Hackers. Pierce has gone up. Huh? What? That's the flying myth unit, right? No, flying hero, excuse me. Okay, I get the hack armor, actually. I get the hack armor. The only thing that deals hack armor or hack damage to Icarus is going to be the throwing axeman, so it's fine. Just helping Norse out a bit. We probably struggle versus this unit. Pierce armor up. I guess to compensate the movement speed problem, like taking that. I get. Okay, I think maybe the issue with this unit is just that it's a flying unit that but now we have all of those heroes that are going to have homing. I think they're going to be able to take out this unit. I'm a bit confused here. I don't know about this change, especially with that homing ballistics thing on heroes. I'm a little concerned. It might not be very good, and I'm saying a lot of stuff here that Demeter might not be not getting any love in this patch. Not that I thought she needed it, but I don't think she needed this. Okay, let's check King Midas out. Recharge time comes down. 400 gold, 6 favor. Bonus. That's an attack speed boost. So doing more damage, costing a little more. Doing its special attack, which I can't remember what it is. I think it like one hits a unit or something, maybe. So that's obviously quite good. Okay. Amazon Archer now costs gold. Okay. And pierce damage instead of divine. And attack down. There's a lot of nerfs here for this god. Yeah, that's a lot of nerfs. That's a lot of nerfs. I don't know how I feel about this one. I think that might be. I'm gonna keep going. Maybe everything got nerfed. I was expecting to see some like power thrown somewhere else. Of course, the siren got it, but I'm not like this here. I don't think makes up for it. Let's keep going. All right. Major God, Isis, Prosperity, duration increased from 50 to 75, effect reduced from 80% to 50%, villager gold gather rate. All right. I don't have the game up, so I'm not going to be able to explain this on exactly, but you used to get around about 30, 35-ish gold per villager from Prosperity. You're going to get less than that now. It also means you have to be mining for longer in order to get that. So if you wanted to drop the early game Prosperity down, which I don't think was good anyways, it's not going to work. So you can drop it, sure, but you can't then go grab a talent center. You have to sit on that gold mine for an extra 15 seconds. So if you drop it right as you're advancing, you have to give up on some of that extra gold you're going to be getting in. That's going to hurt. So there you go. Pretty hefty nerf to Isis. That there is, I think, a pretty hefty nerf. I think that the good usage of Prosperity is still good. So, yeah. All right. Avenger goes up in HP. Phoenix, all the flying units they said were going to go up in HP as well. The attack point duration animation changed from 80% to 60%. That's nice. I was trying to animation cancel the Phoenix and struggling, so now I'm going to struggle less. Priests movement speed increased to 3.8. Fantastic. They move ridiculously slow, and it's terrible. I'm not going to lie. It's really hard unit to use, and yeah. Okay, Slinger bonus damage multiplier for range soldiers increased from 2x to 2.2x. Let me just get my calculator up. So it's at 4. So 4 times 2.25 is going to be 9. So I get 9 damage instead of 8. Slinger's still going to be terrible. I don't. When you compare the Slinger to all the other units, this unit is just hard to use. It's slow. Its range is less. Doesn't have HP. It's a hard unit to use. Very, very hard. Maybe the very, very best players can use it, but I am struggling. Okay, Hands of the Pharaoh makes the priest attack and line of sight up to +3. That's a big one. That there is a big buff, actually, for the priest. That's going to help out players defending myth units, and specifically players who are utilizing things like the center or Manticore, Petsukos, anything that's got a little bit more range, anything that can move and has range, it's going to help them out. Okay. Dwarven Mine, big nerf onto the Dwarven Mine. That's 25 extra favor for the recast. And that should mean that the cast after that is 150, which is nearly unusable. You want to use it in the late game, right? But it's not going to be a cast that you use very often before you get to 6,000. So maybe a 3,000 gold cast at 75 is reasonable. But yeah, that next one, you're not going to want to use it. Okay, damaging hunted animals no longer progresses towards exploring myth units. That's fine. It's a bit confusing because you do get some favor from hitting animals already. So I'm like, it's nerfed. You don't get the full amount. So I kind of understand why it builds towards myth units, but I also understand that this is probably not healthy for the game. You don't want a player who is just going to run around the map, killing all the huntables. You don't want a player who's going to do that, smack, and then come into the fight and immediately spawn a myth unit, even though you haven't even engaged with them in a single fight yet. It feels bad. Okay, Minor God, Njord, Ringgiver has a nerf. Really? There you go. I hate it. This is one of my favorite technologies, and it's nerfed. No. I guess the Ringgiver Jarl was performing better than it should have. I did not even notice this, but maybe that's just my Norse bias. All right, Battle Bore, hack damage increase from 20 to 22. This unit is already good. I will also bring up that the Frost Giant, I think, is still 4 population. It should be 3. All right, let's keep going on. All right, Atlantean Pantheon. Atlas Implode God Power now has a bonus damage multiplier versus villagers at minus 50%. I will explain that people were unable to dodge Implode. Therefore, if Implode was dropped on villagers, it would kill them all. And if somebody had, say, 20 villagers on a gold mine and an army defending said gold mine, and the Implode would drop onto that, kill off 20 villagers, plus basically kill off an army, it was game over. Now, instead of that, the villagers will survive with either, I believe, 5 HP or 19 HP, based on technologies, right? All right, Automaton. Another You're kidding me. Okay, guys, the Automaton is now officially insane. Go spam it. Stop going Oceanus. It's not good. Just play Leto, make Automaton, go win games. Make them nerf this unit because it is strong. I want to see Leto at 50% plus play rate. Okay. All right. Caladria, Oceanus adjusted as follows: hit points increased from 100 to 200, and PS armor increased from 45% to 50%. This is because of the ballistics thing. So you should be able to actually hit the Caladria, which means the poor Atlantean players will cry because their Caladria at 100 HP would die in one shot and they can't do anything about it. So what they can do is they can run or fly away. Yeah. All right. Onwards and upwards, Alien Bird. Thea, hit points increased from 400 to 500. I think that maybe the speed could actually come back on the Caladria now, but we'll have to wait and see what this ballistics things look like. If the speed's at 5 and I start shooting you, you should have a chance to run and get away from there. Fine, I don't mind. But now at 4.5 speed or whatever it is, you don't have that chance. Pretty much all the heroes, except for like the priest and the pioneer, are gonna be able to chase, and they're just gonna kill off the Caladria. It's gonna be a useless unit for a lot of different matchups, which is maybe not a bad thing. There's a lot of useless myth units in this game in certain matchups, and maybe the Caladria should suck in certain matchups. Stefanian Bird also had HP going up. All right. It's going to be really interesting to see these birds at the moment. I know I say I hate them, but I also don't want them to suck. So I'll backpedal on that one. I'm sorry. Sorry for my complaints, guys. Favored land, Nuwa buff. Nuwa is really good right now. Fine. Jurong. That's nothing. Okay, Tao Wu has become cheaper. Love. Very strong unit. The bowling one. Hundun has had the okay. This is really good here. Flip the ability order so the banish is first and chaotic fear is second. Why is this really good? Because chaotic fear would send the units away from you, and then your AOE damaging ability would be used on one unit. So instead of you feeling the power of the Hundun, which is actually really strong, you would instead feel the power of the Hundun without having an AoE damage ability. So it would feel really shit. Anyways, I feel like it's going to be really good now because you don't even have to worry about it. All right, Jinglong, hit points increased. Zhuchu also increased. Makes sense. Sage copied myth units duration increased from 8 to 10. No longer stuns myth. They did it. This is my least favorite. This is my least favorite hero in the game. And now I don't even care. I love this unit now. Just make sure this is real. It is real. Fantastic. I love it. Yes, more myth units is good. Put it up to 12 seconds. I don't care if this stun isn't here. Love. Like if my opponent hits my unit and like stuns it, I can't do anything. But if they start hitting my unit, now I can run. Happy days. I can keep it alive. I can micro. And that's what this game should be. It should have a lot of micro in it. Reward the player who is going to run from the unit that is dealing damage against it. All right, Bushido XP, reward for... Oh, okay, Tsukiyomi is now going to be busted. I don't actually know what this means. Mind you, that is an extra... That's doubling the amount of Bushido you get from getting techs. Which means he's going to get to his heavy faster. Means he's going to get his timings off harder. We'll see. I don't like these types of changes. These types of changes to boost gods that are getting stuff for free. Boost something that the player has to do. That's my take. Kumiki cost increase from 50 gold, 100 wood, 15 favor to 100 gold, 100 wood, 20 favor. Okay, this is fine. Minakatsutomi did need some nerfs. The costing of stuff just going up, still strong. This here is obviously a nerf to more than just the cost because this is a tech you want to grab straight away because it helps you build your archer ball easier. So now I don't think I buy this straight away, which means I buy it later, which means getting even less value on it. This one, that's not enough of a difference. I'm still grabbing this one very early. All right, Swampland duration reduced. Okay. I want to see this God power go up. I would have rather see this God power go up to 125, 140 favor as a recast than this isn't an issue. This God power isn't an issue for Tsukiyomi. Let me just put it that way. It's an issue for Susanoo because Susanoo is going to go ahead and drop multiple Swamplands, multiple Thunderbursts, and potentially multiple Typhoons on you in a game. And I'm one player and with one opinion. I don't enjoy playing against that. I enjoy playing against a lot of different stuff in this game. That is one thing I don't enjoy playing against. So I would rather see this God Power and Thunderburst's recast cost going up by about 25%. That's my take. All right. Typhoon. Of course, that would also hit Tsukiyomi, but I don't care because Tsukiyomi should not be recasting Swampland. He should be making Myth Unit. Fantastic. I'm glad we're on the same page. Typhoon has had a nerf to units and a buff versus buildings. I will believe it when I see it. If this God Power doesn't kill off the entirety of my army, then I'll be over the moon. This like chunk my army. Like it's a storm. Like a little rain never hurt anyone. And I know a lot will kill you, but these guys are really buff troops that shouldn't die to a little bit of rain. Oh no, what happened? Okay. Myth unit Omoyaki has had its speed reduced, has had its number of spawn projectiles. Isn't that increased? Huh? Wasn't it 4? Huh? Is this the upgraded one? No, that's... I'm like 95% sure it was shooting 4, and then the upgrade made it shoot 8. I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. Let's just hope that's not a buff. I don't want that to be a ninja buff, because this unit was the best unit, one of the best, probably the best myth unit in the game. Okay, Honengyo is now a valid target for trader god power. Okay, Cosmic Guard, scout units. No longer count as a valid unit to group to vote. Okay. Oh. Okay, now I have to build Spearman. That's fine. Or Tequila Archer. That's there's barely any difference. Just build Tequila Archer. Build 12 Tequila Archer instead of this. It's fine. Okay, Bloodback favor and goes down to 5. Here's my take on Blood Pact right now. It's taken me a while to get here to figure this one out. Blood Pact should only be able to be used on human units. No heroes, no myth units. It's not fun, but it's an Archaic Age God Power, and guess what? Archaic Age God Powers aren't meant to be that fun. We have one God Power that gives you vision on the map. We have another God Power that gives you vision on a unit moving around the map. We have another God Power that gives you trees. This God Power gives you a gigantic armadillo that can kill a town center. It's not healthy for the game. This one here, that's my take. Feel free to ignore it. All right, Eagle Warriors now getting +1 range and line of sight. This is really good. This is really good. Instead of +2 in the heroic age, it goes to okay. You still get your super strong Eagle Warriors in the mythic age. Don't worry about it. But heroic age, you less powerful. Love it. Might help out actually might help the Egyptians survive a little bit longer before they have to resign versus Quetzalcoatl, which is nice. All right, Malinal Xochitl is going to have the Infested Den, having Pierce Armor reduced, and only spawns 1 large... Okay, this is fine. I don't like that this is getting nerfed. I like this is getting nerfed. I like this is getting nerfed. I like this is getting nerfed. But I think it should give 4 large scorpions upon death. And maybe you could delete it and it will be obnoxious. Maybe you can still delete it and it'll be obnoxious. Anyways, maybe an extra 30 seconds for 1 more large scorpion before it dies. That would be what I would prefer to see. I think this is a really cool god power and it has a nice... Anyways, Purge has come down in resource cap. This god power, I don't think it should work on anything, but I think it should work on myth units and I think it should work on human units, but I don't think it should work on heroes. Reason being is Curse doesn't work on heroes. All right, Earth Monster, damage reduced from 50 to 40. The problem with Earth Monster, as far as I'm concerned, is that it kills your army and it splats them out on top of your opponent's army. It's like a free army kill in the heroic age if your opponent has an army out, which is not good. I really don't have a good suggestion for this one apart from maybe have the units get spit out randomly rather than all into one spot. But that obviously doesn't make sense from a graphical standpoint. I don't have any other good options or any other good suggestions. I think this is just a really difficult to balance god power. And it's always going to be quite strong. The recast should go up to like 300 because it's basically a mythic age god power in its current state. So that's my take there. Okay, Shinek Kue? Shinek Ke? I can't remember. This is gone. Okay, it's usable. It's usable. I don't even care about this. It's now usable. It is now usable. When in idle form or in turret form, it is no longer selectable with the select idle military. It's usable. Ugh, that's so good. Hits the middle, myth units, damage bonus multiplier versus heroes reduced. Yeah, okay. Don't think that matters. All right. Kimichin Spy, damage down. Clarity Warrior has come up in cost, come up in hit points, and come up in train time. I kind of like this. The unit is on paper really, really good, but is hard to understand. It's a overwhelming unit. It's a unit you will spam in the classical age, and you will basically go for, if you're playing like a 1 town center extended classical fight, you're going to have before this change, maybe a little bit still, but it's like you're just going to overwhelm your opponents. It's not population effective. It is resource effective. So now it may be a little bit more population effective, and a little bit less resource effective, which means it's going to be more usable later on in the game. That being said, there's already a really good use case for it, which is in the Aztec mirror. You want to mix it in to help out with your Eagle Warriors. All right, Osel Warrior has had its damage nerfed when it comes out of stealth. I haven't done any tests on this, but it was doing really well from stealth and not doing very well without stealth. So you have to use the stealth with this unit to get value. Probably still have to do it, but it's just less. Eagle Warriors, hackers come down, so cavalry will do better against them. That's love. Sean 1 has special attack damage increased from 12 to 24, and now no longer is AoE, which is something that I think is a very, very healthy way to operate a masterful unit that comes out of your Migdal or your castle building. Just shouldn't have units doing AoE damage that are human units. Just shouldn't happen. There is still the champion elephant, but the champion elephant is very counterable by counter cav. Whereas this unit, much harder to counter. It mixes in, does a crazy amount of damage, stuns everything. It's not healthy. Jaguar Rider also getting a nerf. This thing, without question, was too strong. You look at the stats and you go, which age does this come in? Oh, it comes in the mythic age? Oh, wait, but that guy gets it in the heroic age? Oh, wait, even in the mythic age? Are you sure you didn't mean wonder age? This thing is insane. Okay, the more you think about it, this guy is bonkers. So less bonkers. Probably still going to be really, really strong. Did come down a little bit in cost as well, so more spammability, but less hit points and less damage from jump as well. Probably not enough. Probably still really, really good. Let's keep going. That is a significant nerf, though. Significant, right? 20 HP off. Like a 10% HP nerf. Not nothing. Warrior Priest has come down in damage. I just noticed this the other day. This thing is insane, right? The damage it was doing compared to a Hersa. Not that you should compare it across cultures is difficult, but still insane. Now the movement speed at 5.0. Okay. Yeah, you're not going to have any issues with myth units here. HP goes up. I'm really hoping this unit is not masked anymore. It's stupid. Shouldn't be making a hero if I'm not making myth units. Doesn't make sense. Heroes counter myth units. Myth units counter human units. Human units counter heroes. That's the dynamic. But for whatever reason, with the Aztecs, it was my hero counters everything. All right, might not be. Okay, Tech Shipper now. 20 favor. Love. And everything's got stronger? No. Everything got weaker. Oh, but more focus. Okay. I get it. More focus on the myth units. You should be making Tajipla to kill off enemy myth units. Period. That makes sense from a design standpoint. Making the Tajipla because why not? Doesn't make sense. All right, let's keep going. And that's it. And then the random maps, we have the standard map split has removed Key, Obsidian Ridge, and Okuchichibu, and now has Anatolia, Blue Lagoon, Megalopolis, Mount Olympus, and Yellow River. Quick match map set has Key, Obsidian Ridge, and Okuchichibu. Okay, this is just without the water maps. So yeah, Anatolia is back in. So there's now 3 water maps. You have Mirage, Anatolia, Midgard. I like all those maps. They're fun. All right, Cloud Forest fixed an issue where Cloud Forest would sometimes not spawn packs of berries in the middle plateau. Slightly adjust the map size, player, and object placement to improve spawning conditions, especially for 1v1s. Lots of people have complained about this map for the forest spawns. So hopefully the forest spawns are better. If they aren't better, let's talk about it. Mount Olympus in as again, lots of people complain about this map. We're using this map for the Athens tournament. So it's back in. Apparently. It has to be back in for the tournament. Increased distance between cliffs and forests. We are playing on a separate sort of map, which has been rebuilt from the ground up. This one will probably play pretty similar, I imagine. But I don't know. Reduce the amount of size. Yeah. It's all about how many cliffs are in there, right? Basically, if there's too many cliffs, then the map feels too claustrophobic. And if there's not enough cliffs, it doesn't feel like Mount Olympus. So you have to strike the balance. You want it to be a nice defensive map. But also you want players to be able to interact with each other without just having to put down one wall and then the whole thing grinds to a halt. So we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to playing on Mount Olympus. Blue Lagoon is back, and Midgard, or improved gold spawns and Midgard. Yeah, Blue Lagoon is back. Everyone's favorite. Yay! All right, and that's all the modding and editor stuff. Fantastic. Pretty excited to see people's mods and things. If you have any coming up, let me know. I'd love to check them out. All right, guys, that is it for me today. And enjoy the Age Mythology Retold patch shenanigans. Bye for now.